Hello, my name is Fairy Belle, and I'm a book fairy. Today, I'm going to read you a story called Loxley and His Big Emotions. Do you get big emotions sometimes? Me too. This morning, Loxley woke up in a mood. He felt grumpy and cranky and grumbly in his tummy. He got out of bed with his grumpy face all crinkled and grouchy. Can you make a crinkly, grouchy face? Loxley threw his blanket onto his bed with a giant huff and a giant puff. He just couldn't make it right. This made Loxley even more grumpy and cranky and grumbly in his tummy. He stormed out into the kitchen. His little feet felt grumpy and cranky and grumbly too. They went stomp, stomp, stomp all the way down the hall. Even when his mum said, "Good morning, buddy," his face was still crinkled and grouchy. He just couldn't shake off his big, cranky mood. He tried to eat breakfast, but nothing felt right. His bowl was the wrong colour. His cup had the wrong kind of juice. His toast wasn't cut into the right kind of shapes. This made Loxley feel angry. It made him even more grumpy and cranky and grumbly in his tummy. Loxley tried to get dressed for the day. He tried to yank his pajamas up and over his head, but he got stuck. Dog tried to help put Loxley's socks on, but it only made it worse. Loxley tried to squeeze his grumpy feet into his shoes, but couldn't work out left from right. Loxley tries to be super independent, and this made him frustrated. His big emotions came rumbling up inside. He huffed and he puffed and he stomped about on the floor. Bam, bam, bam. Loxley tried to play games with his sister Alaska, but nothing felt right. He wanted to hide, but she wanted him to seek. He wanted to be the chef at their cafe, but she wanted to wear pink dress-ups and dance about. Loxley didn't like it when he didn't get his own way, so this made Loxley feel sad. It made him feel even more grumpy and cranky and grumbly in his tummy. Loxley tried to ride his bike outside in the fresh air, but nothing felt right. He couldn't keep his grumpy feet on the pedals like he did yesterday. His mum guided him as he tried to pedal his bike, but Loxley wanted to be brave and ride without any help. This made Loxley feel anxious. It made him feel even more grumpy and cranky and grumbly in his tummy. Loxley tried to do well at soccer training, but nothing felt right. He tried to kick the ball into the goals, but got twisted up and fell flat onto the icky, wet grass. Everyone watched him fall over, so this made him feel super embarrassed. It made him feel even more grumpy and cranky and grumbly in the tummy. Loxley tried to ask his dad a question, but nothing felt right. He was feeding his baby brother and couldn't get his attention. He tried poking his dad and making funny faces at him. He tried jumping up and down with his hands waving about his grumpy head. He huffed and puffed and threw a toy high into the air. It came crashing down onto the ground, making a large bam, crash, bang. He tried to climb up onto his lap. He just didn't want to share his dad. This made Loxley feel jealous. It made him even more grumpy and cranky and grumbly in his tummy. He huffed and he puffed and burst into a ball of even bigger emotions. As Loxley's tears began to fall down his grumpy cheeks, he thought, "Why is nothing feeling right today? Why do I feel so sad?" Mum realised how grumpy and cranky and grumbly Loxley was feeling. So she stopped what she was doing, scooped him up into her arms, and gave him a big squishy cuddle. When she hugged him tight like this, it made Loxley feel calmer, and he slowly let out a happy grin. He could feel the grumpy and cranky and grumbly mood disappearing from his face and from his toes. Mum explained to Loxley that sometimes we have off days full of big emotions. Some days it's okay to feel angry, frustrated, embarrassed, anxious, sad, or even jealous. She told him it's okay to cry and feel crummy and grumpy and not quite right. That big feelings are meant to be felt, and sometimes we just don't have the right words to express how we are feeling. Some days all we want to do is huff and puff and be super cranky. But it's how we deal with those big emotions that will help make you feel better and happy. She reminded him to stop, pause, and breathe in the fresh air. To take a moment to be calm and work out what it is that was making him feel grumpy and cranky and grumbly in the tummy. That it's okay to cry big tears and let out big emotions and then get back up and try again. Loxley tucked himself into his big boy bed that night. He snuggled Mr. Teddy with a big smile on his face. He wondered if he would wake up tomorrow in a happy mood instead of feeling grumpy and cranky and grumbly in his tummy. The end. Have you ever felt some of those big emotions like Loxley did in the book? Can you remember some of the ways that he felt? He felt sad and frustrated and even angry. Big feelings for such a little boy. We all have big feelings sometimes, don't we? Thank you very much for listening to my story today, and thank you very much for believing in me. And never forget that I believe in you too.